Bloody go. Oh, we're live. Hello. Oh, Colin.
Hello, welcome to Heroes of Handheld, the world's premium podcast dedicated to handheld gaming. We talk about all the latest in handheld gaming news every week, uploaded on your podcast app of choice every Thursday morning or Wednesday evening, depending on how quickly it refreshes. But we talk about everything Vita, 3DS, 2DS, Nintendo Switch, and everything in between, including mobile and maybe even the iPhone Watch. It's not called the iPhone Watch. I'm on about. It's the iWatch. It was just called the Watch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
You've got an Apple Watch, haven't you?
I was just wearing it right this second. Ooh.
Can you actually do anything on it yet, apart from look at the time and Pokemon
the weather?
Is there anything else
and I ask Siri for the football score sometimes.
Do it now. Go on. I've got the scores in the England game. Go on.
No one's playing, are they? Hang on, let me try something. Hi, Siri. Is it coming home? Siri says, "Oh, interesting question, Christopher."
Brilliant.
Thanks. Great.
Hey,
great
Siri.
memes. No, it won't work. Got headphones on.
What's the name in the football? Name in the football one about? Stop it, Siri. Why are you so good at listening? Hey, Siri. Go ahead. What was the score in the England game? After
a 1-1 draw in extra time, England defeated Colombia 4-3 on penalties in the round of 16 of the 2018 FIFA World Cup.
Thanks, Siri. You're the best.
Can you imagine someone listening to this podcast for the first time and be like, what the hell are they doing? This is a weekly show. We talk all things handheld. We give you the latest news. We give you our perspectives. We do little reviews. We've got a demo memo coming up later, which is a reminder to play a certain demo. We're going to be talking about Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. Colin,
yeah,
we need to get straight in.
Yes.
How did you find? We finally played an online game of Mario Tennis Aces.
Oh boy, finally I got to play. It's been like too many Switch games for me this week. It's crazy. I bought 2 games, 2 actually full price games. Can you believe it? Mario Aces. Tennis.
Mario Tennis Aces.
The game that everyone's talking about. The game everyone's playing. Finally got to play it. Play a bit of the adventure mode. And I managed to actually play an online game. Having trouble playing anyone online at the moment because everyone I get matched with has terrible connection. So I have to cancel it straight away. So not actually being able to play anyone online apart from Chris. And I'm not ashamed to say, because I know I'm terrible, Chris pwned me online. I think we played 4 games in total. I won 1. And then Chris sort of won the others. And he even broke my racket on the last game, which was a nice way to end it. But
you won a game when I was on match point by breaking my racket. And as soon as that happened, I was like, well, I've got to now break his. That just became my goal. I don't know if you noticed or not.
Oh, yeah, I saw the console. It shows that my timing is well off in blocking. That is clear. The problem is, and I don't want to make excuses because I know I'm terrible, but I just get confused about what controls what and what button does what, because I go to do like a special shot and end up slowing down time. I try and do like a zone shot and end up doing the wrong fucking thing. I'm just not very... maybe I need to do the tutorial again. But I am really enjoying Mario Aces. Tennis Aces Mario, the tennis game with Mario in. The online playing with you was actually very smooth. I was a bit worried at the start when we saw our connectivity was like 2 bars, 3 bars, but it actually worked pretty well. The highlight was when I pulled off that trick shot in the second game. That was sick. Fucking sick.
I think
Waluigi and his moonwalk. Oh,
about the online is that in the demo, the ball moved at a constant speed, but your character was slowed down by lag. Whereas in it, it's like if the game was lagging, they just slowed the ball down, which I thought was a really I don't know how they've managed that, but it's a much better way to handle it because you still feel like you're having like an accurate go at it.
Yeah, definitely. It's I think it still needs a lot of work with servers and stuff. Don't know whether it's just me, but as I said, I've not been able to play anyone else online at the moment because the connection has been terrible. But I got to play the adventure mode this week, and I know you were a bit harsh on it last week. Well, I say harsh, you were a bit negative on it. and I can see why. I've played a bit of it. It's a bit annoying, a bit repetitive, a bit stupid, but it's fine. It's basically an overlong tutorial on how to play the game and just preparing you for playing online, from what I found.
To be fair to it as well, I was struggling with my block shots, and I played some more of the adventure mode, and it has like helped a lot with that.
Yeah.
So I can like parts of it are really good. I just think that like the setup of it without like being able to restart challenges and stuff is a bit frustrating. But I think they'll fix that.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the different game modes they've put in there to mix it up a little bit. There's one mode I played where it was I don't know what they're called, those flowers, those weird flowers that spit things at you, and you had to
PT Piranhas.
Nice, that's a great name. They're spitting fireballs, and you have to hit them back, and you've got to get 30 of them within the time limit. And obviously, you have to use all the shots you have in your inventory, like the trick shot, special shot, and things like that. And that was a really fun change of pace, actually. I really liked that. So I'm not that far in. I've probably done 5 or 6 of them. I've already got one of the rackets. I think there's 6. No, was it a racket or was it the stones or something that you have to collect?
Yeah, there's that power stone.
That was it, power stone. I've got one of them so far. So, I mean, I've not been playing it for very long. And the fact I've already got one sort of worries me a little bit. But no, I need to delve more into the online mode. I'm interested to try out the multiplayer as well, the local multiplayer, after what you told me about the issues and how it's not really user-friendly at the moment, where you have to deselect maps rather than select maps you want. So I will have to give that a go as well. But no, so far it's just as addictive as I found the demo. It's one of those games where you want to keep on playing if you lose. And when you lose, you want to play to win. If you win a game, you want to keep getting that winning feeling. So yeah, I need to delve some more hours into that, maybe finish the adventure mode, and yeah, check out more. But so far so good. Looks nice, very colorful. I think I prefer it on the TV mode when the Switch is docked. Actually, talking about my Switch, I did notice last week that I was struggling to get my Switch inside the dock, and it looked like it warped a little bit in the middle. It curved.
Oh right.
But now that has gone and it's going in fine. So I don't know whether the heat had anything to do with that, because it's been quite hot here over the past few weeks. Maybe that's what's did it. But no, it's interesting because I was struggling to get it in and out of the dock, but now it's fine again. So I have to keep an eye on that. That was a bit of a weird one. I was a bit worried when I saw that, because I know we had all those reports in the past of people whose switches were warping if they were kept in the dock too long. So yeah, we wait and see. But have you been playing more of Mario Aces as well? Have you been checking?
Yeah, I've been playing the online a lot more. It is a very good game. There's so much tactics to it, and like you say, you really have to get used to how to do the different shots, because if you think for a second about which button to press, you're gonna lose the point. I do think there's already been one update. I would be interested to see if they're going to do any like balance updates or any kind of game updates, because I do feel like some of the characters are very abusable. Bowser Jr. and Waluigi especially, I know people aren't very fond of in the community, so it'd be interesting to see what they choose to do with that, if anything at all. You know, maybe they've made the game that they want to make, and that's fine if that's the case. But yeah, I have been enjoying Mario Aces, and I'm glad that you have as well. And I would like us to play doubles at some point online against some randoms if they introduce that as a filter. But the other game that I know you've been playing, Colin, I want to hear about the N-Sane trilogy.
I'm very excited to talk about this because I've mentioned this many times on this podcast, but Crash Bandicoot on the PS1 back in the late 90s and early 2000s was when I think about gaming when I was growing up and the games I played, the Crash Bandicoot games were regular fixtures in my household. I played them constantly. I played them, I'd finish them, I'd start again. So the games that I played was Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot 3, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash. They were the main ones I had. Now, this is a sort of a reveal, I guess, of sorts. But I'd never ever played the first Crash Bandicoot in my life. I started on the second one, and for various reasons, I just had never bothered to go back to number one. So here comes the N-Sane trilogy, which is from Visceral Games, who have revamped the first 3 games in the series: Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. They've made them look prettier, but it's pretty much they are the exact same games. They have added a few extra features, and they've put 2 extra new levels in as well. But it's basically the games you know and love with a fresh lick of paint. And I'll say straight off, they look absolutely lovely. The animations are fantastic, on the especially noticeable in the with the weather and the fire animations and the water animation. There's a lot of water levels in Crash Bandicoot, and really looks absolutely stunning to look at. And I really liked when I first put the cartridge into my Switch. It's a nice touch, actually. There was the old Crash Bandicoot in the old polygon PlayStation style was walking along. He sees a machine that says Visceral Games on, and he looks at it, and he throws a PS1 style crate into this machine, and it pops out looking all reanimated and cool. So Crash looks at this machine, looks at the camera, raises his eyebrows, and jumps in himself. And then he becomes the new sexy animated Crash. I really like that. I thought that was really cool because they actually had the exact animation, the exact style of the old Crash Bandicoot, which was really nice. There's a voiceover when I first went through the menus as well. It said, "It's time for a blast from the past." And I like that. I don't know. It's like these little things. And then, right, the actual game itself. Let's talk about that. So I like to do games in order. So I've started with Crash Bandicoot 1. And I'm about 20 levels into it so far. Very different to the other games in terms of the warp rooms, because the second and third one is all based around the warp room. But for the first one, it was a weird map layout. So you have to go around the map, and then you beat a level, and then you unlock more levels and things like that. And there's boss battles in there as well. What I will say straight away, it is a very, very hard game. Very, very challenging. It's a lot harder than the number 2 and number 3. In my opinion. So I've rage quit a few times. I've lost lives. I've had to restart levels. It's one of the most frustrating games I've played in a very, very long time, but I'm very much enjoying it. In terms of how it plays, it looks great. It plays well. The controls are very responsive. In terms of any issues, I would say it looks better on a TV than in the portable mode. I found that the animations aren't as crisp in the portable version when you take it away, which is strange. It's very rare that I actually say that playing it docked on a telly is better, but I am finding that at the moment when you put the Joy-Cons inside the little controller holder, that's the best way to play it, in my opinion. There's a few issues with the game itself, but that's nothing to do with this new version of it where they've made it look better. The issues are there from the original game, and one of those issues that I found is levels where you're jumping away from the camera.
I knew you were going to say that. As soon as you started talking about issues, I was like, yeah, he's going to talk about the ones where you're running away from like a boulder or a polar bear, and you're like, trying to know the depth without seeing where you're going. Yeah,
that is one of the issues, and that's an issue that's been with the Crash Bandicoot games. Well, since I can remember, it was an issue with the second one as well. Not as bad as this, but there are instances where it's all trial and error. Like, you don't know how far you're jumping, so you could jump forward, but you don't know whether you're going to land on this platform or you're going to land miles off to the side. It's almost like trial and error. That is a bit frustrating, things like that. But that's really the only negative, and that's nothing against Visceral Games and this revamping of it and this reimagining, but the reworking of it. The game itself is the same game you know and love. Not much new in terms of new features. One nice touch they've done is they've added the ability that you can play as either Coco or Crash in the first game, so you can choose between them. Though it doesn't really change anything in terms of the gameplay, because Coco has the exact same moves as Crash. He can do a spin attack exactly the same as Crash. There's no real reason apart from thinking, oh, I'll play this game as Coco because it looks a bit different. There's not really any other point in doing it, but it's nice having that touch. Obviously, in the third game, you do play as Coco in some of the levels anyway, because she's a playable character. But yeah, it's the animations are great. I'm really enjoying checking out Crash Bandicoot 1 after all these years and seeing what people mean by how difficult it is. I'm actually on the level at the moment that's infamous for being one of the hardest. It's called Road to Nowhere.
Is it the motorbike one?
On a bridge, and Oh boy, is that level not fun? I must say. So that's where I'm at the moment. I haven't checked out Crash Bandicoot 2 or Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. I'm very excited to play those ones because, as I said, I grew up with those games, and I'm really interested to see how they look now with the reskin. But the first one, I'm enjoying it. It cost me £30, which was all okay. So £10 a game. I mean, you could make the argument that considering it's pretty much the exact same games and with not much added in, it's a bit steep. But hey, being able to play Crash Bandicoot in the portable way, it's great. You can take Crash with you, proper full games, and you can relive your childhood, nostalgia. It's great. It's great. I mean, they're just solid platformers anyway. Even if you've never played Crash Bandicoot before, it's definitely worth checking out because they are a lot of fun. They give you a good challenge. It can be frustrating, but when you actually complete a level, you feel a sense of achievement. Another actually addition they've done is when you get to the end of a level, it will tell you how many boxes you've missed. A big thing with Crash Bandicoot is trying to finish the level by getting all the boxes as well, because if you collect all the boxes, you get a gem. And by collecting gems, that unlocks things further down the line. And it's really cool. Like if you miss boxes, you go into this room, it'll say, great, but you missed. And it counts out all the boxes you missed. And each one will smash on Crash's head. And the more boxes that hit on his head, the more pain he gets in, it sounds a bit brutal. It's actually quite funny to see. And it makes you think, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't believe I missed all those boxes. But yeah, and there's loads of hidden things as well. Like if you go for a level without dying, you unlock extra bits and you can get more gems. And there's like hidden platforms you have to find as well. So yeah, it's a great time. I'm hooked on it at the moment. It is my go-to game. So Skyrim and Mario Aces are going to be on the back burner for now. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'll definitely recommend it for people who've never played Crash before and people who just want the nostalgia kick. And when I actually went into my local game shop and I was looking at purchasing it, on the board where it had a big poster, big billboard inside this game saying Crash Bandicoot, the N-Sane trilogy. They also had an advertisement for the Spyro trilogy, which is being revamped as well. It's coming out in September. I think I'm probably a little bit more excited for Spyro because I love Crash Bandicoot. I love Spyro the Dragon. I think Spyro just takes it up a little bit for me because there's a more exploration element to it. Obviously, it's the same sort of idea where you be in a warp room and you get to go to these separate levels, but there's more exploration. There's more hidden areas. There's more hidden tasks you had to do. But interestingly enough, with Spyro the Dragon, it's very similar to Crash Bandicoot, where I never played the first one, the Spyro the Dragon. So looking forward to that. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on the N-Sane trilogy, and I'm very much enjoying it. And the hype is completely correct about being challenging, but it's challenging, I think, in a good way. It's not challenging. For me, it's not got to the point where I think, oh, this is some shit, I'm never playing this ever again. I actually want to keep, even though it's hard, I want to keep playing it because I want to finish it and I want to do it.
Have you got to the motorbike levels?
Was
that Crash 2?
That was in Crash 3, the motorbike levels.
Okay.
In the third game, there was motorbikes, there was boat ones, and there was plane ones as well. I never really enjoyed the boat ones because I thought they were a bit long-winded and a bit annoying to control and things like that. The one where you're in a plane, you have to shoot down blimps was also very annoying as well. A lot of people didn't like those. That was very slow paced, and Crash Bandicoot is known for its fast paced games. I was just saying that the Spyro trilogy was advertised when I went into game on the big billboard for Crash Bandicoot. So I'm really excited for the Spyro revamp as well, because I'll definitely be checking that out. But no, really enjoying it. It's good. It's fun. The only issues are issues that were there for the original game when they came out on the PS1 all those years ago. But in terms of how it works on the Switch, it plays really well. No frame rate issues. I know, Chris, you said there was an issue with saving the game in the past.
Yeah, the Crash 1, the save system, I can't quite remember. I just remember it being very frustrating. I think you could only save if you found like a hidden bit in the level, or one of the listeners will remember better than I. My internet is still balked, so I can't load up the links, but watch, I'm going to be really smooth here, because Colin, the game is selling quite well, isn't it?
Oh, I think it is, Chris. It's coming home. It's coming home. Because Crash Bandicoot N-Sane Trilogy is the fastest selling Switch game released this year. It sold more in its first week on Switch than Donkey Kong, Mario Tennis Aces, and Kirby. That's crazy. It sold more than Mario Tennis Aces.
It's mad, isn't it?
Crazy. Shows that people are dead keen for it. I know there's been rumors that they might be releasing a new game in the Crash Bandicoot universe, but will it sell as well? I think people like Crash Bandicoot for the nostalgia, and even if they released a new game, it'll just be exactly the same as the old ones. They'll just take inspiration and just be different versions of it. So I don't know. I think people are wanting a Crash Team Racing a new version of Crash Team Racing, because that is a fantastic racing game. And if that ever happens, oh boy, I'll be on that. I'll be on that ship. But yeah, it's good that's selling well, and it shows that Crash Bandicoot is that the name that people love and will always love and will hold dear. People hold dear in their hearts. It's nice having it on Switch, and it's nice it being on Xbox as well, because originally it was just on the PlayStation. Cool. Right. So moving on to that, I just want to quickly mention a very brief bit of PlayStation news. And that is from the world of PlayStation Plus. So if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you get free games every month, and we've got the games for July out now, and this covers your PS3, your PS4, and your Vita as well. So if you have a PlayStation Vita still, and you've got PlayStation Plus, you can get Space Overlords, and that's cross-buy of PS Vita and PS4, and also Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma. Now, this was a game that I spoke about quite a lot back in the day, because it's a visual novel, and you're basically trapped in this not a prison, but you've been locked away by this crazy person.
We spoke about this
escape.
When we very first started the podcast, didn't we? Because it was on 3DS and PS
yes,
Vita.
I think. Yeah, it's been out for a while. It was always an interesting concept to me. I never actually played it myself, but I think your decisions determined who lived and who died. So you could save people, people could die depending on your decisions, or you could do it so everyone survives. But that was really tough to do. So that's really cool that that's available on PlayStation Plus. Definitely worth picking that up. And also, just a quick shout out: PS4, you get Heavy Rain, which is a great game with a dodgy ending, and also Rayman 3 HD, which is another one of my favorite games from my childhood years. I loved Rayman 3, so definitely worth picking it up if you want to. If you've got a PlayStation 3, I'll definitely recommend it, because Rayman 3 is a great game. And that's your news from PlayStation this week.
My thing is still blocked. So Colin, why don't you tell me about the Pokemon? It's weird. I can't load up sites that aren't the Google Hangout. I can't even write the article.
This is crazy. This is craziness. Well, basically, it is the community event that's happening this weekend, Chris. So, if you want to get a cool Blastoise, you better be playing Pokemon Go this weekend.
I'm keen. I'm back in. I'm back in the game.
Are you back in Pokemon Go, or are you back in so you can click links?
No, I'm back in Pokemon Go. I can't click links still.
There you go. Oh, look, you can... that's so good. On the Community Day this weekend, you may also see Squirtle wearing sunglasses. Oh, isn't that just lovely? Now, the last Community Day last month, was it the month before when it was the Royal Wedding? I think it landed on the same weekend as the Royal Wedding. I saw so many people out and about, like catching the Pokemon and stuff. It really showed you how many people still play Pokemon Go. But this month's one is all about Squirtle and Blastoise, so that's really cool as well. And just so you're aware, I did the new research tasks this week, and I managed to get a Snorlax with Body Slam, which was really nice. But annoyingly, the CP was really low, which was annoying, which is sad as well. But there you go. And I keep hearing people saying about catching shiny Pokemon on Pokemon Go. I've collected.
Shiny.
I've not caught any shinies ever. Don't know how. How'd you do
it? Just got lucky. It didn't even look shiny until I clicked on it. And I was with Emma, and she clicked on it, and she didn't get it as shiny, but I did. So it must be very random.
What bitch? So
but
look out.
Don't forget, I've caught like literally thousands of Pokemon in that game, and that's my first one. So I guess they're not that common.
Look out for Squirtle wearing sunglasses this weekend, and then keep picking up Squirtles and catching them. You get loads of candy, and then you can get yourself a very cool Blastoise. Ain't that just lovely?
I hope they're all wearing sunglasses.
Well, they should be. It's very hot. It makes sense for them all to be wearing sunglasses to protect their eyesight. Surely.
Sure. Colin,
Chris, yes.
I am unable to load the article. However, I would be interested to hear about Nintendo Switch's autumn lineup or new 2DS models.
Oh my god, there's just so much to talk about here, isn't there? Let's talk about the autumn lineup for Nintendo Switch, which is custody from our friends at DualShockers.com. So, this article reads, I accept the privacy policy. I'm going to accept that right now. Nintendo expects no problems with Switch production to hit 20 million shipments target. And Nintendo isn't deviating from its target of shipping 20 million Switch units this year and expects no issues in securing their production. So there you go. That's all I've got to say on that. I have no idea.
Well,
I can read the article if you like.
This is why you shouldn't come on at 8:15. Maybe you should read it before that. So this is my thing's working. So this is there's a bit more information here, which is that one of the senior executive officers, Susumi Tanaka, said that they're talking to DualShockers about kind of difficulties, and Nintendo foreign president Tatsumi Kimishima was there as well. This is a quote from the article. Kimishima-san was also asked about Nintendo's presentation at E3 and the fact that it caused a sharp decline in the stock value. He explained that the company is preparing to disclose more information to the customers at an appropriate time, including products that will be launched during the year-end shopping battle, but it's not yet time to announce the full lineup. That being said, he listed the games that will be released before the end of the fiscal year, mentioning its powerful lineup. Nintendo aims to maintain and expand the momentum of the Switch as the year goes on. More information to come in the future. So it sounds like we don't even know everything that's coming this year, which is quite exciting because there isn't much coming this year. So it would be nice to know what actually is coming. You know?
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
As well as the only other thing that's coming is football, which is coming home. That's by the by. And finally, in the 2DS news, for those of you who are still interested, there are some new special edition 2DSs coming out, including ones themed about Animal Crossing, Minecraft, and Mario Kart. The Animal Crossing and Mario Kart designs come out on the 19th of July in Japan. The Minecraft one comes out 2nd of August. And the Animal Crossing one is the only one of those three coming to the UK, which comes out on 20th of July. And each of them come with their relevant games pre-installed as well. I will say the Minecraft one is Creeper themed. It's the 2DS LL, which is a folding 2DS. And it does look really good, to be fair. And, is another sign that Nintendo and Microsoft have clearly got some sort of decent working partnership at the moment, with Minecraft being a Microsoft-owned property. So we'll have to see what this means about, Minecraft on future consoles. But it's quite cool.
Yeah, I actually forgot to say I played Fortnite on Switch for the first time the other day.
How did you go?
It worked very well. It was very good. I was the 19th person left alive. I was very happy with that. I thought that was pretty good. Wouldn't you say? Is Chris still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm here. I don't know what's happening. Chris, the rain. Do you want to do demo memo and then go to bed?
Yeah, I'd like to go to bed now. That would be really nice.
So the demo memo this week is Treasure Tracker, which is a UK or European demo. I don't think it's out in the States at the moment. And in case you're not across Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, it was a game based on a bunch of bonus levels in one of the Wii U Mario 3D games that then got its own release and is now being ported to Switch. The demo, Colin, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not great. It's good. Like, it shows the game off, but it is 3 very short levels. And it doesn't really explain, like, you basically just get thrown in at the deep end, and it doesn't really explain some of how the game works. To be honest, if you are going to get Treasure Tracker anyway, I don't think the demo is going to particularly sell you or dissell you. It's very much what you would expect. I was just a bit disappointed that you get a demo for a new Nintendo game, which is rare. They don't traditionally do big demos, and it was like, here's 3 tiny levels. You're welcome. Admittedly, one of them is engaging, but it hasn't really sold me on the game. It feels very much like go on.
Maybe they just assume that people who are playing it or buying it or playing the demo have already played the game on Wii U, so don't need to be told about how to play it, and it's just people who like know how to play it but just want to have a look at how it plays on the Switch.
Yeah, that's fair. And it does play well. Surprising amount of touchscreen integration for a game which people will be playing docked, but it was good fun. It reminds me of a game I'm playing a lot on my phone, which is the Monument Valley. Only it's not nearly as complicated because the perspectives don't change as you revolve the board.
Have you ever played Monument Valley before?
Yeah, I finished one. I'm playing 2 at the moment.
Oh right, yeah. I never finished the first one. I love that game, but I just forgot to finish it. That was a good game. Yeah. How much did the second one?
It was on sale for £2. I think it's normally a £5.
That's pretty good.
So you'll never buy it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it hurt paying £30 for Crash the N-Sane trilogy. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet.
Oh, can I just quickly? There's a game. There's an app I've not mentioned. Sorry, I just need to mention the game that I've been playing this week, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. It's a game on iOS. I'm not sure whether it's on Android, but Chris is going to find out now with his choppy internet. Called Hole.io. So this may sound familiar because in the past we've talked about similar games in this genre. We had Agare.io and then we had Snake.io, where basically it's a load of online players put into one area, and then you've got to try and expand what you are and become the biggest thing in a map. So it started off, you were a dot, and you kept eating smaller dots to be bigger dot, and then as you got bigger, you could eat other players if you were bigger than them. And then you had the snake one, where same idea, but you were a snake, and you had to be a big snake. So it may not sound fun, but it was very, very addictive, and I absolutely loved it. Well, there's a new game out in this field of games, and it's called Hole.io, and I'm not lying, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I'm absolutely addicted to this game. Once I start playing it, it's hard to stop. So basically, you start as a small hole, and then you've got to make your hole bigger to win. So that may sound boring, but you start off, there's about 7 players in the game. You're put in this world. It's a cityscape with buildings, with cars, people, streetlights, things like that. And you've got to eat things. And the more you swallow up in your hole, the bigger you get. So you start off by swallowing things like, street lights and bins and benches. And as you get bigger, as you level up, you get bigger and bigger, and then you start swallowing like buildings. You start swallowing like skyscrapers and things like that. It is so addictive. Each game is 2 minutes long, and it's a battle to see who can get the most points by eating the most things. The bigger the item you eat, the bigger you get. And you can also eat other characters, other players in the game as well, which gives you extra points. And then if you get eaten by another player, you're out of action for about 5 seconds, and then you come back in. But whilst you're out of action, you need to move away, because if you stay in the same place, you'll respawn, and then the big person will get you again. So you have to hide basically in those 5 seconds where you've been eaten. I don't know if I'm describing it very well, but it is very, very addictive. I definitely recommend it. It's called Hole.io, and honestly, eating things, eating humans, eating buildings is just so, so fun.
Here's the thing, Colin.
Yeah.
You're a prick.
Why?
And I don't know if you've seen this or not, but you're a prick. Are you aware of a guy on Twitter called Ben Esposito?
Is that the name of that song that Justin Bieber did?
No. Ben Esposito is a game designer and developer, and he designed a game called Donut County.
Oh, here we go.
Donut County is out on Steam and is coming to mobile soon. And he put a statement out last week saying how disappointed he was because a game publisher called Voodoo.io had published a cheap free-to-play version of his indie game, and they've taken his idea, ripped it off, and are now using it to make money on the Apple Store. And they've done this before for games like Ridiculous Fishing and Desert Golfing. Currently, it's number 1 on the free app charts. And Ben's been working.
Yeah, we know Voodoo
Ben's been
quite
working
well.
on this game for for 5 years, and then this has come out and ripped him off and made a cheap, crappy version of it and stolen his thunder. And Donut County will be great and is more story based, but it's very similar in terms of concept. And this tweet posted some interesting reactions from other developers, one of which who was like, I made a game in 2015, Voodoo.io ripped off in 2017, and now he regularly gets hate mail from people who played the clone of the game thinking it's his version.
Oh,
so
dear.
I just want you need to think about where your food comes from sometime, okay?
Well, Voodoo we know quite well. They do release a lot of games, and it doesn't surprise me that they're ripping off other people. But then, you remember Fortnite that came after Battleground Unknown?
Yeah, but it's not a rip-off in the same... This is like...
Properly is.
It's really not. It's really, really not. This is hole in the ground. They're just taking the exact same thing.
Chris, I would tell you to download Hold.io. I know you might feel dirty. Give it a go. Who gives a damn? Because the Donut one ain't on iOS yet. It's not on iOS yet. I can't play it. I can't play it, man. It took him 5 years. It took this company like a week, and it's just as fun. There you go.
You're killing the games industry. I hope you're happy.
Well, it's fun and I love it. So he can suck a deck. He didn't get his game on iOS quick enough. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
But no, I didn't realize that. But that's a shame.
Well, it's interesting because when you started talking about it, I was like, why do I know? Why does this ring a bell? And then I was like, oh yes, that's why.
In terms of the concept, though, I mean, the concept is very good. So if he came up with it first, it's a great concept and it's very fun. So I'm sure his game is just as fun. I've just not played it, so I can't compare. And it's probably not going to be free, and it's not out yet on iOS. So I can't even talk about it. So there you go.
Colin,
check it out. Hold.io. Check it out. Available today.
It is available on Android as well.
And Android as well.
What should people play for demo memo for 2 weeks' time? Because we're not here next week.
Well, the game that I've been playing, or I will be playing, as part
good one.
It's called Kid Trip. Is the name of the demo, and it's I always get confused by all these bits, 16 bits, 18-bit, but it looks like an 8-bit platformer game where it looks similar to Sonic, but then you look like a little Mario character. So maybe another game that's been ripped off by other games. Who knows? But it's called Kid Trip. It's free to download. There's a demo on the store. I think it's not that expensive anyway. I don't know if it's out yet. Maybe it's not. We'll see. I have to double check that. But that's what I'm going to be playing, Kid Trip. And if you want to play it as well, it's on the Switch store now. Get the demo and have some fun.
How can people get in touch?
Well, there's just so many ways that people can get in touch, Chris. They can email us, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. They can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Just Google Heroes of Handheld. They will find our details everywhere. We're all over the damn place. I mean, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever good podcasts are sold. You can even find our website, which is heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com, where we've got a section on there called Contact Us, where you can send your thoughts, your messages, any opinions on this week's games you've talked about. We'd love to hear from you, so please do get in contact. We will not be here next week. We are having a week off because it's coming home, and Chris is going to bed early, or something like that anyway. So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, and by that point, England will have won the World Cup, and there'll be a national holiday in place, and it'll just be glorious for everyone.
Can't wait. It's definitely coming home. It's happening.
I think it is fucking coming home. Well, thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back not next week, 2 weeks, same time, same place on the Wednesday. Have a great week. Enjoy playing your handheld gaming devices. Goodbye.
We still believe. We still believe. It's coming home. Coming home. Coming. Handheld's coming home.